So please give a warm welcome to Brandon. Let's go.
AK-47 beat, entries like AK-15. Not gonna show you how. Send me out of 50 cal. Do you like my Kalashnikov? Papa Kalashnik can stop by jumping to the ladder. You try to raise can, I tell you otherwise.
What is up, young Americans for liberty? It's always a fun time. It's great to be back speaking at Rev for my third year in a row now. It's always great to see such an awesome crowd of young people who care so much about the freedoms that they enjoy in this country that they're willing to sacrifice an entire weekend in the summer to learn from great men about how to get more of those freedoms back. Truly great men like Ron Paul, Rand Paul, and all of the other amazing speakers that you've heard from this week. And that's probably why they shoved me to the end of the lineup. Now, if you're here and you know about me or you've seen me here at Rev before, go ahead and give me a quick hell yeah. If you're here and you have no clue who I am, welcome to another watch list, brother. So, my name is Brandon Herrera. I'm a YouTuber, business owner, Second Amendment activist and advocate. We do things on my channel like historic firearm breakdowns, Darwin Awards, and of course, work on the AK-50. Since 3 weeks ago now, I am also technically an undefeated pro boxer. I'm not letting that one go anytime soon. It's technically true, and that's the best kind of true. But more important than any of that, I use my platform to reach and to educate people, especially young people, about firearm safety, firearm mechanics, gun laws, and basically why the federal government sucks. And speaking of the government sucking, how many of you guys are excited to be riding with Biden? Wait, what? I thought you guys were the Gen Z TikTok generation. Like, what is the DNC and Gen Z for Change spending money on if they can't convince you to get excited to vote for a corrupt geriatric? I know plenty of small children that don't want to be riding with Biden. I'm sorry. I'll stop. No, I won't. Anyhow, as you might have imagined with my field of expertise, part of what I plan to speak on today revolves around gun rights. Those of you who follow me may remember recently I testified in front of members of Congress in a field hearing about ATF overreach. I don't think it's an unpopular opinion here that the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is out of control, and as we all know, should be a convenience store and not a part of the government. But I think it's extremely important to remember exactly why they are out of control. It's not just because we don't like the decisions that they're making. They're violating the Second Amendment, but even that is just scratching the surface. They are a regulatory body that does not have the constitutional authority to write the law, yet they write the law. They're banning FRTs, they're banning arm braces, they're banning bump stocks, all things, I will remind you, comply to the letter of the law and were actually previously approved by the ATF for sale before they were sold. No laws were passed by Congress, no bills were passed that were signed by the president and turned into law. Some bureaucrat in the ATF, in a cheap suit, decided to turn millions of American gun owners into felons. And the majority of Americans just said, okay, that's unacceptable. To bypass Congress and write laws as a regulatory agency is against the process detailed in the Constitution. Because not only do they have the duty to obey the Constitution, it is the only document that gives them any power in the first place. Without the Constitution, they are just a band of thugs setting rules on their turf and collecting protection money, which is still kind of what they are when you put it that way. But the beauty of the Constitution, though, is that the same document that gives them the power to do any of this is the same document that outlaws or outlines exactly what the federal government does not have the authority to do. Which is why it's frustrating to see politicians and government officials in general just disobeying the Constitution, almost oblivious of the fact that the same piece of paper that they are talking down on is the only reason they have any authority in the first place. So, political rant aside, that is why it's imperative that the ATF be stopped. Stopped, defunded, and abolished. Because the American people are not complying, nor should they. The most recent data I've looked at showed that the pistol brace ban, the compliance of which, after the ATF's grace period was over, was around 1%. That is a 99% non-compliance rate. When is the last time you saw a 99% non-compliance on any federal law? The gun community as a whole is sick of it, and rightfully so. But it's not just about gun rights. It's about all rights. Guns are just a tool, the teeth that the American people are meant to use as insurance to make sure that the rest of their rights are respected. What the American experiment was founded on was a government that was controlled by its people, not the other way around. Where you have freedom of speech, where you have freedom to practice your religion, where you have the freedom to protect yourself, to own property, to not be unfairly stolen from, taxed. It's all about freedom at the end of the day. The American experiment was about having the freedom to be who you want to be, to live how you want to live, to do what you want to do. Unless that means you want to fuck kids. That's when the wood chipper gets hungry. Or if you mutilate the genitals of your child because she wanted to climb a tree instead of play with a Barbie. And that, for the record, is not an attack on the gay community, for the record. After all, how could I have a problem with the gays? My best friend was in the Navy. I'll see you at brunch, Cody. But back to the core of why we're here. We're here because we love liberty, and we love supporting folks like Ron Paul, who run for office because they too love liberty, and because they act and vote accordingly. But not every politician is a Ron Paul. In fact, few are. What is much more common is somebody who will run for office for money or power, say anything they need to say to get elected, and then once they're in office, they turn their backs on the same values that got them elected and vote against every position that their constituents voted for in the first place. There is an epidemic of weak politicians, people who claim to stand for your rights, yet vote against them whenever it actually counts. Even in my state of Texas, my congressman, Tony Gonzalez, stood for gun rights to get elected, was given an A rating by the NRA, and when the moment of truth came and the bill was in front of him, he voted in favor of Biden's post-Uvalde gun control. But we cannot continue to tolerate this wave of weak politicians. And that's why, and Yal doesn't know about this part for the record, that's why I'm running for Congress. Specifically, I have filed officially to run for Congress in Texas District 23 in the Republican primary against Tony Gonzalez.
So that was my congressional announcement speech. Well, at least 90% of it. The video file we were sent got corrupted for the last few minutes of it, but you get the idea. This has been a wild ride so far, to say the least. But I'm excited to get to share this journey with you guys from start to finish. Taking on an incumbent congressman is a very hard thing to do. But thanks to your support, we're making Tony Gonzalez regret a few of his votes already. That makes it all worth it. But if you're inspired by this and you want to help out or just learn more about the platform I'm running on, you can go down to BrandonHerreraForCongress.com or use the links obviously in the description and the pinned comment. While you're there, if you're in the United States and you'd like to support the campaign, you can go ahead and donate there directly. You can also go over to Bunker Branding and pick up some sweet campaign merch like shirts and stickers. Links for that will be down in the description and pinned comment as well. It's also important to note I don't make a penny personally off of the donations or the campaign merch. All of that goes directly into making sure that a dishonest anti-gun politician is using Craigslist to find a new job next year. Anyhow, guys, like I said, it's awesome to be able to share this journey with you from start to finish, and I'm excited to see how this goes. This is quite possibly one of the most grassroots congressional campaigns in American history, and it's kind of cool to be able to make that history with you guys. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel if you're interested in seeing more stuff on the campaign trail. I'm excited to see where this goes. I really do appreciate your support more than anything in the world, and without getting too cheesy with it, it's what's going to keep me going in the long fight to come. So as always, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.